for us to talk health. What is food without good health, after all? And today, the focus will be on self-medication. Do you really need to consult a medical doctor or pharmacist before taking medicines? That's the question. Well, we've got Kenneth Tokakman, a pharmacist, excellent, with over 7 years experience. And today he will be answering this question on our health segment. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So, Kenneth, first off, let's establish what is self-medication.
Thank you very much. Self-medication is the process by which individuals take medicines, drugs, or any other substance that have therapeutic value in the body without any consultation with a medical doctor or a pharmacist. Right. So that is essentially what self-medication is. Also, another concept of self-medication is whereby a patient or an individual continually takes medication after being prescribed by a medical doctor without continually consulting with the medical doctor, right? So that can also fall into self-medication.
Okay, so self-medication, so the second one you said about continually.
Yeah.
So many people actually do that.
Right.
The doctor prescribes a medicine, and because it helped fix something, you don't stop when he or the pharmacist have asked you to stop.
Right.
You just continue believing that you are preventing it,
True.
not knowing that you're causing something else.
Yeah,
so what are the side effects of doing that?
So the major dangers, right? It could cause there's something called antimicrobial resistance, right? So, example, you continually use antibiotics, and as a result of that, the antibiotics do not exactly eliminate the bacteria from the body anymore, right? Another thing is called drug-food interaction, right? If you self-medicate without consulting with a medical doctor or a pharmacist who guide you on the type of food or the type of medicine to take with the medicine that you're taking currently, that will cause another harm.
Take, for example, anti-malaria.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to take
fruit
or blood tonic.
Exactly.
And people don't even know they are supposed to take it with milk.
Exactly.
Like little things that
very little things that can help you get the best out of your medicines, right? Yeah. So it is very important. That's why it's very, very important that we should avoid self-medication. Yeah.
Okay, so can you classify self-medication as also being drug abuse?
Yeah, absolutely. Self-medication can be classified as drug abuse because you are not consulting with the right authority, which is the medical professionals, which is the medical doctor or the pharmacist, before taking any medicine. So it can be classified as drug abuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's now use this question to clarify, because we have over-the-counter medicine,
right,
and prescription medicine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so which medicines fall into that category of over-the-counter? Personally, I've always thought that flagyl might be over-the-counter, but it's terribly abused, because many people don't know that flagyl is also an antibiotic.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's talk about which ones classify as over-the-counter and prescription medicine.
Okay, so over-the-counter medicines are medicines that you do not need a prescription to get, right? So we can say mild analgesics like paracetamol, diclofenac at some level, right? We also have anti-malarials, right? At some point, right? But ideally, you need a prescription for anti-malarials. But in this part of the world, because malaria is endemic to this zone, you can just walk into a pharmacy to request for an anti-malaria, which is not supposed to be. So we are supposed to do like a laboratory investigation to confirm malaria before going to take an anti-malaria medicine. So those are some of the medicines that can be classified as an over-the-counter medication, right? So for prescription-only medicines, essentially antibiotics are supposed to be prescription-only medicines, but because in this part of the world where people feel once they have an infection, they just run to the pharmacy and get an antibiotic.
They chew it like
exactly. And as a result, it leads to resistance in the long run.
And then you hear, the antibiotic is no longer strong enough.
Exactly, it's
so
not
the
working.
word is not strong enough,
right?
And they go for augmentin. And then they keep
and as a result, out, you just max out all the antibiotics that's supposed to work out for you, right? So it's so important that we avoid self-medication.
Okay, now I know quite well that talking about this whole self-medication thing, there are some medicines that pharmacists are not even allowed to sell.
Yeah.
Except in special cases.
Right.
Medicines that could put them in trouble.
Right.
And it's also regarding the self-medication. Can you touch on some of those?
So that's this prescription only medicine. So for example, there's this popular medicine Lexotan, right, or Valium. Right? So those medicines are strictly prescription only medicines. Even some antipsychotic medicines, right, that treat psychotic illnesses and mental illnesses, they are not supposed to be sold over the counter. They are prescription only medicines. That's why if you walk into a pharmacy and you request for those medicines, the pharmacy will ask for your prescription, right? That is standard practice because just to help the patient and help the society at large. Yeah.
So now I really have to also point out something because I've had to deal with all of these things firsthand. So that's why I'm so happy we get to talk about this. What I want to point out is this. So a medical doctor or a pharmacist tells you, because we talked about using it beyond the time you're supposed to. Now, they tell you use 2.5 mils. And then you decide that you yourself, you're a doctor and a pharmacist. And then you use 5 mils. Say the 5 mils is strong. You know, just like this.
Yeah.
Please, can you tell us what the side effects are of using medicines that are above the prescription?
Yeah, so there's something called an overdosage, right? So the reason why a medical doctor or a pharmacist will tell you, oh, use 2.5 mils or use maybe 5 milligrams, for example, to treat a particular illness is that as a result of a lot of research and a lot of clinical trials, there's a standard dose that if inserted or put into the body is able to eliminate that symptom. So if you go and overshoot that dosage, it can cause a major side effect in the body, right? That is why it is so important that we stick to dosages, we stick to prescriptions that a medical doctor or a pharmacist gives you. Yeah.
Okay, so just so that you can protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
Okay, so finally, because I know we would have to round up very soon. What advice would you give to patients, no matter how sick you are? Should they see a doctor or a pharmacist or simply say, Shola, Hazan, Ineka, go and buy me this medicine.
Right.
It's one that is But people don't realize that what works for A might not work for B.
Very true. That's a very important point that you've just made. It's so important that when one is ill, especially now these days that community pharmacies are around the corner, you can walk into a community pharmacy, ask to speak to the pharmacist, right? Relay your symptoms to him. He will be able to, in his right clinical judgment, be able to prescribe something to you. Or if it's something that is beyond the boundary of the pharmacist, can send you to the medical doctor for a referral. So it's so important that you do not self-medicate and you should avoid it at all costs.
I'm so glad you mentioned this because let me now educate people as well. There's a difference between chemists and pharmacists.
Right.
The pharmacy always has a pharmacist attendant. So you have the right when you buy medicine at the pharmacy to request to see the pharmacist.
True.
People don't know.
People don't know that. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, at this point, so we'll take a break. And of course, the show continues. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Stay with us.